Royale Lynn, if you're listening to this, how you doing? My name is Brent. I like long walks on the beach.
Hey, country music fans out there. You're tuning into the Caught Up in the Country podcast with Brendan and Lee. It's been a minute since we've talked, so let's backtrack a little bit. We're gonna hit a few hot items that we've really been wanting to bring up with you, and we're gonna start it off with Brendan here, telling us about his first time in Nashville. All right, take it away, brother.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot. I had to write notes down just so I can process everything that happened. So we went in the first week of April. We went during the week, which I had some fears about because I was like, I don't think Nashville will be popping at that time. You know, um, I have a weird feeling that I'm going to walk in every bar and be the only one there. So we took a pretty early morning flight. We got down there, I think around 1. Um, we couldn't check in the hotel till 4. So we go in, try to put our bags like behind the counter, and they're like, no, we'll just give you a room. Like, here, just take a room, good. So we got to check in nice and early, which is super nice. Um, my family, it was myself, my mom, my dad, my brother, and our buddy Marcus. And immediately, as soon as we put our stuff down, I was like, put your boots on. We're going to the Country Music Hall of Fame. Music Hall of Fame. Okay, we're
Perfect.
going now. We're going. So we went in, we walked around. My mom's obsessed with Elvis, so there was a nice little Elvis portion for her. It was hard to pull her away from that, but we ended up making it happen. Um, we spent a little extra time in there because I just wanted to like appreciate everything that you know we're going to be doing there and everything that I've listened to, and I figured that was a good way to start it all off, essentially.
So your mom's favorite was Elvis, but what was one of the best things that you saw while you were there?
They had the ACM corner, which was like pretty much all people that, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate obviously everybody way beforehand, but to see like all the stuff from like Hardy's music video with Lainey Wilson or like the Luke Combs stuff, I thought it was super cool. It's a really good display in there, and to see little hidden gems, here and there, like Eric Church from his I think it was his Springfield music video with the American flag scarf and everything like that. Myself, and my brother spent a good amount of time next to the Taylor Swift display, singing because we're weird like that.
Because why not? Exactly.
Exactly. He actually, there's a tour bus in the ACM area for Taylor Swift, and you can play with like a voice recording in there. So you can, I don't know, it'll play a song, it'll give you the words like karaoke. And he didn't realize that the sound booth he was in wasn't soundproof, right? So,
That's
so
terrible. Oh no.
him and Marcus are in there, and I think he's singing Wagon Wheel, but he's like doing it in a screamo voice. Rock me, mama, and like he's into it. He is jamming, and every other like family and parent around him are just looking in there like, and like he just kept going with it. He started doing it with like "You Belong with Me" and Taylor Swift too, and people started to like enjoy it and laugh. I thought it was a really funny thing. A really funny thing. I'll
Yeah,
see.
get into it. I love
Yeah, I'll
that.
have to see if I can find the recording of it. Um, the one thing we didn't do on this trip, which I am extremely upset about, is we did not do karaoke. I am very disappointed. I am very disappointed.
That was going to be my next question. Like, you did karaoke in the Country Music Hall of Fame, but it was like impromptu. Like, it wasn't a planned
Yeah,
trip. I wanted to know if you made it to Wannabes or not.
we tried to get to Wannabes, but it closed early. Like relative to everything else, Wannabes closed pretty early, so we really never made it. Um, which will lead me into my next thing. But we stayed at the Drury Plaza Hotel, which is about a 10-minute walk from the Strip. Super, super nice place. Let me tell you. I mean, it's little on the, I wouldn't say pricey side, but like obviously not super cheap. But I mean, they have the bar.
Kind of what you pay for, though.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
because if you
Oh yeah.
stay in close to Broadway, like, you're not going to find a cheap hotel that's, inexpensive, but still, it's so worth it because you can just, like, walk out
Yep.
there and go wherever you want to go.
Yep. 24-hour fitness area. They had the pool, the hot tub that we used plenty of. They gave you free breakfast and snack dinner, but like you could fill up on that dinner. So we barely really went out and paid for food too much. Um, they give you
And that's awesome.
three free
Yeah.
alcoholic drinks with dinner every night. So I mean that was another nice thing. So that was essentially our pregame. Um, so after exploring, we got that little dinner snack. We went down to the strip. My parents wanted to stay in. They just wanted to kind of adjust and relax a little bit. We were like, oh, you know what? We'll just go grab a bar or a beer at like each bar, work our way up and down the strip, this and that. So we walked into the first bar we saw, and it was Kid Rock's, and we didn't walk out of Kid Rock's. We
I knew that was
we
coming.
got in there and we just did not move. We started on the ground floor, but we were still adjusting to Nashville, right? So we went up to the top, like the not the top floor, but like you have the where the bar is, the main bar, and then the loft up top. So we went up there, had a couple of drinks, washed, and then um, this girl comes up to me, and I'm like, oh, she's a super cute waitress. She's like, oh, do you have any tips for the band, anything like that? And I'm like, sure, I guess. Like, I'm a generous tipper anyway. I'm like, damn, like the waitresses here are good looking. That's pretty cool. All of a sudden, I turn around, and she's on the bar singing and dancing. I'm like, oh, she's a singer. Oh, cool.
Well, there you go.
See, we did that. We explored our way up to the top. We looked around a little bit, and we just drank the night away at Kid Rock's. Tuesday, I don't even know when we had to have gotten back at like 3:34.
I remember getting a snap from you. I think it was the first night, and it was maybe at like 3:41 in the morning, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
He had a good time.
obviously it was all a blur, but at some point no, I think we all stayed together that night. Because there were times where like people just weren't feeling right. You know, the excessive amount of drinking and stuff like that has taken their toll. Um, but either way, every night we made it back safely, so that's all that matters. So Tuesday night we all got up, we had our free breakfast, and then we just took a walk up and down Broadway. We went and saw and everything. My mom got to go see her little trinket shops and stuff like that. We popped into Jason Aldean's, which is not handicap accessible. We figured that out the hard way because my brother has muscular dystrophy, so he can't do stairs very well. So Jason Aldean's is 3 floors, so it takes you up 2 floors, and then you got to do 2 more flights of stairs to get you up to the top. So if anybody's listening who's handicapped, Jason Aldean's is great, but not if you can't walk. So we went all the way around. We had a little bit of everything. We sat on top of Dirks for a while. Popped into Old Reds for a couple of minutes, they were very helpful. They gave us an elevator up to the top floor. Um, and then that night was Third and Lindsley for Matt Stell and George Burge. And I think this was probably my favorite night of the entire time. So if you've never been to Third and Lindsley's, which I didn't know what it was, you buy a general admission ticket. Doors open at 6. You get in there, and it's free seat. Like, go find a seat. It's basically like a restaurant and bar all in the back, and then there's a pit and a stage. So you go in there. They have the merch table right in front there. So me being a merch junkie, I had to buy stuff. What did I buy? Oh, I think I bought koozies. Yeah, I have koozies somewhere. Um, so same thing. There's a second kind of loft level. So we went up there, grabbed a spot by the railing, and a waitress comes up, takes your food order, takes your drink order, brings it out. Now I'm sitting there and I'm antsy, right? Because I'm a front row warrior, and I'm like, it's 6:15. He comes on at 7. My food's not out yet. I need to eat. So they brought my food out, which I got chicken fingers because if you know me, that's all I eat.
I know. Yes, that is all you
Yeah.
eat. Great.
Which were very good, by the way. But I absolutely inhaled them so fast so I could get down into the front that I barely tasted them. But so yeah, food was really, really good there. Nobody had any complaints about it. And then I made my way down to the pit. I was up front. I think I let like a couple of shorter people up ahead of me because I'm 6'1", right? I don't want to block anybody's time. Um,
I'll keep that in mind if we ever go to a concert because I'm 5'2",
Yeah.
so you're gonna have to stand behind me. Sorry, brother.
Hey, it is what it is. I'll be seeing right over your head anyway. So then George Burge came out. if you don't know George Burge, I'm sure he'll be one of my featured artists. He just released a new album recently. It has a bunch of songs that he's already released, and I think three or four new ones, and they're all fantastic. The dude's out of Texas. He's a real deal. Um, so he goes through his set, and like nobody really knows him yet, except for me, because I'm crazy and I know everybody. So I'm jamming out. I am having the time of my life, and like all this. And I do the thing where you take your phone, and I'm like, "Can I get a set list?" One of those things. And he like kind of brushed it off, and then looked back for a second. And he's like, "Oh, that guy's been partying the whole time. Like he knows my stuff." So he's able to give me a set list. He signed it and everything. So I got that. That's how many do I have now? Three, four, five set lists. Well, four at that time. So yeah, he was really really good, and he came out at the beginning, and he was like talking to a whole bunch of his family was there and stuff like that. So he was meeting with the family. I wanted to go say hi, but I didn't want to interrupt. But I was the only one to get a set list, a pick, anything, because I feel like personally it's because I knew the music, right? I think that's a big thing.
Right, probably.
Yeah.
Best fan there
That's what I'm
for
saying.
sure.
Because if I'm up there singing and stuff like that, and I see someone who's just having a miserable time all night and just kind of there, and they're like, "Oh, can I get a set list?" I'd be like, "No." And then you see the guy who's like absolutely having the time of his life and knows who you are, even though most people don't. That guy's gonna get it, right? So he was very good. And then Matt Stell came out, and I, I don't know how it happened. He just cemented himself as one of my favorite artists right now. Matt Stell. I mean, he
That's
I
awesome.
was listening to all the stuff. Um, to prepare myself because if I'm going to see your concert, I need to know all your music so that I can vibe along, right? So he went out. He was really good. Same thing. Everybody knew him. I mean, he sold the place out. So I think he can have up to 250 in there, something like that, or maybe excuse me, maybe more. But same thing. I was up there. I was vibing. I was having a good time. And then he played the song "If I Was a Bar," right? Love that song. Really good song. He At one point, he's just sitting there, he's singing. He just turns to the side stage, and this guy just throws him a Bush Light. So he catches it, and he opens it, and he goes to drink it. And he just starts kind of like looking around. He looks at me, and he's holding it in his hand. He just kind of like swings it, and he's like, "It's coming, it's coming." So he throws it up in the air, and it's right over my head. Right. Thankfully, my buddy Marcus, who's 6'3", is a scaredy cat, right? So he ducks down and hides. So me, like wide receiver, I reach up and grab that, and then you look up, and I'll send you the video, or you probably saw the video already. Already.
Definitely, yeah.
He looks and he just does one of these, and I'm like, "Go time!" So I chug that entire thing in front of this entire sold out place. They're going nuts, and then I slam it on the ground. I got all excited. Hold on, wait. I still have it.
Oh my God, you kept the
I
can?
kept the can.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh my God,
It's a cool thing.
what a true fan.
I should have had him sign it, but so I did that, and there was still a little beer left in there, so I slammed it, and there was a cute girl in front of me, and I kind of, got it all over her legs and stuff. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I feel so bad." And she gave me a dirty look at first, and then she's like, "It's fine, you're having fun."
Worth it, exactly. I would have been the same
Yeah,
way.
exactly. I mean, if anybody does that around me, but I was covered in beer for the rest of the night. So worth it. It was so worth it. But it was a really, really good concert. And then at the end, I'm trying to get the set list for him, and the guy's just kind of not. It was his stage manager. It's not kind of giving me the time of day. And finally, this random girl like walks up next to me. She goes, "What? You want a set list?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Hey, da da da," whatever his name was. "Give him a set list." And he just turns, "Okay." Walks over, hands me the set list. And I'm like, "Hey, thanks, random person. I appreciate it." Um, so I was over talking to my brother and his friend off to the side, And all of a sudden she comes back over. I'm like, hi, do I know? She's like, yeah, we might have matched on an app. And I'm like, oh,
Oh, oh snap! Oh my gosh!
fancy seeing you here. She goes, come here real quick. Come here. I'm like, okay. So she walks me back down to the pit. She finds a pick on the ground, one of Matt Stell's picks. She's like, I kicked this off to the side so you could have it. I'm like, look at this. How great is this?
What a fairy tale! Oh
I
my
know.
gosh! From an app.
And then take both of them, and she's like, watch this. She takes them both from me. She goes over to the stage manager, and she's like, can you go have Matt sign this? He's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. So he goes back. Matt Stell signs it. I have I have that too. Which one is it?
Is this girl anybody like in like specific related to Third and Lindsley, or is she just like some random girl? Oh my gosh! Look at that.
Just some random girl. Yep, just some random girl. Guitar pick signed. The Matt Stell signed. All right, I'm gonna put this back on my wall. Since we're doing show and tell right now.
I love show and tell. It's perfect.
People are gonna wonder why those did silence. I can't get the George Burge one down. It's behind a shelf, but.
Oh dang.
So yeah, that was nice. And I was like, listen, I gotta like buy you a drink or something. She's like, no, my friends are here. I gotta go, and then just disappeared into the night. So I'm like, okay, cool, appreciate it, thank you.
That's so random.
It was very very random. But I have her on Snapchat and stuff, and she's living her best life down in Nashville. She just moved down there a year ago. And hello, kitty, come here, come here,
kitty. Oh my gosh.
So, or are you not cuddly right now? So, she's down there all the time. Like, she's at a whole bunch of shows and stuff like that. She was at the Ian Munsick show when he was down there, which I missed. I was very upset about because my family's no fun. And she's just getting guitar picks all the time and doing like what I do with set lists with guitar picks. So it's super cool. After that, we just went out again. I believe we went to which Redneck Riviera. We went over there because my dad knew they put patches up on the wall and stuff like that. So we went and put his patch up, listened to the singer go for a little bit, and then we told my parents, we're like, you guys got to experience Kid Rock's. All right, you got to go experience Kid Rock. So we brought him over to Kid Rock's.
Oh man.
And they had a great time. I was surprised. They hung around. They hung around late till like 1:30 a.m. And then at one point, we're all standing there, and like this group of girls comes up and starts talking to us. And I look up, and my dad was up on the balcony. He's
He knew. He was like, leave those Broadway girls alone, Brendan. No.
So yeah, they hung late, and then Marcus ended up leaving early. He started spinning and stuff like that, so he left with my parents. And my brother and I, we were jamming out, having a good time. We went over. We wrapped up each night at Honky Tonk Central, which is like, it's an interesting spot. It is. It's very interesting.
It is. It's a little like hole in the wall, but also, I don't know. It's a fun place to hang for sure.
It was definitely a fun place. So we go back and we're looking for Marcus and we can't find him. He's not in the room. We're like, we checked his bed. We checked around the bed. We're like, dude, where the heck is Marcus? And then we just happened to look in the bathroom, and he is asleep on the bathroom floor with a pillow and a blanket. So
Marcus had a really good night, apparently.
We're like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I wasn't sick or anything, but I just felt like I should sleep by the toilet. And we're like, all right, brother. Sounds good.
You know that feeling whenever you know you're getting the spins and like you just need to ground yourself. Yep. And like I swear the cold from like the tiles on the bathroom floor.
It just helps.
That is the most like helps. It does, I swear. So yeah, I'm with him there.
I'd be a liar if I said I didn't sleep on a bathroom floor once or twice. I have to let my cat out of my room. Hold on. So yeah, he had a great time, and then he was the adult of the next night. Because he had to.
So he had too good of a time, and he was taking care of everybody else. So yeah, that makes sense. Hey, I've been there too. Yikes.
He had to recover. So same thing. We all woke up the next morning. Our general morning routine was to wake up, get our asses to breakfast, and then we'd go sit in the hot tub with a beer and relax the body, but keep the buzz going. You know?
For sure. I feel like you can't just like stop because if you stop, you're never getting back into it the right way, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Um, then, so that was Tuesday night. Um, Wednesday, we went to my brother's friend just moved down to Nashville, and she worked over at Boot Barn, a boot store. She worked at some boot store. So we went over there so that he could get a new pair of boots. Looked around. I wanted to get a hat, but I couldn't find a good hat that like just fit my weird shaped head. So we walked around there for a little bit. We Ubered there because obviously we didn't have our car, and we did that at like I don't know mid afternoon, only to find out that we're going to the Grand Ole Opry that night, and the Grand Ole Opry is right next to that mall. So we had no idea. Uh,
So you were at Gaylord then, like
yes.
Gaylord Plaza, that whole
Yes.
little.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yep. Um, and we expected to. I, when I pictured the Grand Ole Opry, I didn't expect a mall and Dave and Buster's across the street. You know what I mean? Like that's what blew my mind the most. I'm like, I'm expecting to drive through a fence into this beautiful property. It's the most prestigious stage in country music, and then I can see all
Oh
the
no way! It's like its own little theme park. You
yeah,
know, like you have to have like the whole experience of all the touristy things
yep,
too. So
yep. So we ended up we're like, well, we can't take all these bags into the Opry. Like we're not dressed for the Opry. Like we're all bummed out. So we had to Uber back to the hotel to Uber back to the Opry. Um, which is fine. You know, it is what it was. But so we went to the Opry, sat down. It was beautiful. The main reason I wanted to go on Wednesday night is because the week before, some guy, Steven Wilson Jr., he put out his album. It's called Bone Aqua, and his music is very, I don't want to say abstract, but like you just got to really listen to it, and like it's I love him. He is really, really good. I actually just saw him in concert the Friday before Mother's Day. That was my mom fell in love with Steven Wilson Jr. She loves him, loves his music. So my present to her was taking her into Tarrytown, New York. It was like 45 minutes away. So we can go see Steven Wilson Jr. perform, which was very nice. She said it was the best Mother's Day present ever.
don't tell your brother. I'm sure he's very jealous of
It's the
that.
first thing I
That's
told my
cute.
brother. What do you mean?
I bet it was. Rub it right in.
He's lucky I didn't call him on the spot and say, "Hey, bud, guess what? You suck." All right. Um, but so we get to the Opry, take our pictures, do everything. Um, we were sitting we're on the upper level, but we were side stage, and it's like they were good seats. Like we were in a good spot there. They started off with Riders in the Sky, who perform there all the time, like an older. Were they a trio? Were they four of them? I think there were four of them. I'm playing uh, stand up bass violin thing, and whatever. Yeah, clip that one. Um, so and they were good, and then second up was Steven Wilson Jr., who was like listening to him play with a full band live. The, let's just clear one thing up. My man looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, it is what it is. Let's throw it out there.
Yikes. Okay. Well, that's
But like you listen to his music and you see him, and he like puts on such a great performance. He's super energetic, stuff like that. And when we went on the Friday before Mother's Day to go see him, we actually got to do like a meet and greet with him. We went to the merch table to meet people and stuff like that, which is what made it the best Mother's Day present ever. So my mom, like, we do it where we go to these shows and we know that we can go like meet somebody at the merch table afterwards, stuff like that. My mom's never done that before. So I bring her to meet Steven Wilson Jr. and he walks out and she's like, "Oh my God, what do I say? What do I do?" And I'm like, just that cool. Just that cool. I'll go into the one in Tarrytown a little bit later. But Steven Wilson Jr., Jeannie Seely, Madeline Edwards performed. And she's on her way up like big time. Um, Red Adkins, he was there. Um, Gary Muledeer. I don't know if you know who Gary Muledeer is. He's a comedian, right? Um, but he comes out with a guitar and everything, and all his jokes are on top of his guitar. So he didn't touch the guitar at all. He didn't play it at all. He just told jokes the entire time. So what I'm thinking is that if his jokes were bombing with the crowd, he would play the guitar and sing, and that would kind of bring the crowd back in. But since the crowd was loving his jokes, he just kept telling jokes, right?
That's funny. I've never experienced a comedian like that,
I've
but
never been to a
it's kind
comedy show
of
before.
works.
He was so like you got to Google, you got to YouTube him. Like he's just got these one-liners that like he'll finish and you'll think about it for a second, and then you just start dying laughing. He's hilarious. And then we got to see Elle King, who was like,
Oh my God,
she
really?
was
I love her.
fantastic. I had never listened to her much, but then what was it American Sweetheart? Oh, so good, so good.
Yeah, that new album, man, it just really solidifies her in the genre. Like, I love hearing her new stuff. So I'm so glad that you got to see her at the Opry.
She's Rob Schneider's daughter.
Yeah, I knew
I didn't
that.
know that. I didn't know
It was
that.
like back in my brain, but I did know that. Yeah,
My
yeah.
mom, my mom
Random.
said that, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, there's no way." Because like you know who Rob Schneider is, and they're like, "How do you get this like bluegrass folk music tattooed up daughter out of that?" But um, so we left the Grand Ole Opry, which is another event in and of itself. We left a little early because I forget who was playing last, but no, we wanted to get out of the Opry early and go do our thing. Um, Getting out was a whole other thing because we got an Uber, and then there are just guys fighting in the parking lot because they're like cutting each other off with their taxi drivers, screaming, yelling at each other, driving the wrong way. I'm like, this is
Something you never thought you'd see in
yeah.
outside of the Grand Ole Opry. Like, what the hell?
My cat wants to come back in. Hold on. Um, yeah, and it's a good thing we left early, and that was 20 minutes before anybody else could leave. Can you make up your mind there, kitty cat? I know. Come here. Come on. Let's go talk to the people.
You make me jealous. I want a cat so bad. I've always wanted a cat, and I'm allergic to cats. So
I am
like, I
too.
can't.
I am too.
Are you really?
Yeah, so I can't touch my ass.
I just
I'm
love
petting her.
cats.
So yeah, we left, went back, changed up, and then we went to Whiskey River. We went and rode the bull, which was super fun.
No
Oh,
way.
we
Oh
did.
my
We
gosh.
did.
I've never done that.
It was I got up on there, and the guy looks at me. I'm like, do it, do it. Fucking, I was getting tossed around, and like, it was a lot of fun.
Like a string bean, because I'm sure you're long and like lanky, and like your arms are just going everywhere.
I
That's
don't know if that's
amazing.
a compliment or an insult. So anyway, I think
It was. It was not a compliment. Definitely a burn. Sorry.
I think that's going to be the clip to start this episode. Um, and then we put my mom up on the bull, and my mom is injury prone. She can literally sneeze and pull a muscle. So I walk up to the guy, and I'm like, for the love of God, if that thing goes up above one, she will be in trouble. I do not want to sit in Nashville General Hospital or whatever it's called. Um,
Ooh,
and
man.
then we same thing. We bounced around. We went to Kid Rock's again. Um,
It's just a good place to end up. Like I'm with you though. Like that's a great bar just to be
Yeah.
in all the time.
we hit all three floors. I think Tuesday night we hit all three floors and just bounced around. There were some really good bands out there and everything. Um, so we did that, and then I think Justin and Marcus ended or left early. So maybe Justin just left early, and Marcus went with them. I don't know. I just hung around after, and then it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I went to go take one of the scooters home, which I absolutely should not have been taking the scooter home, and they don't work after a certain time.
Hello, Kitty. Wait. Okay. So you tried to take a scooter home,
Yes,
and
they turn off after a certain time, which is smart to say the least.
I mean, I guess so. But like, imagine being drunk and like trying to ride down that big hill on Broadway. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's smart, but still,
I wouldn't
I'm
have
gonna
made it
try
on
it.
feet, if we're being honest. So yeah, that was that night. Thursday, we woke up, and that was kind of our day to like, hey, let's start packing. And what? Ow, your claws, dude. Um, our day is to start packing, and accept the fact that we have to leave Nashville tomorrow. We went over to Martin's Barbecue, which was literally 10 steps from our hotel, which was fantastic. I got a nice chicken sandwich, which was awesome.
Okay, so you put bread on your chicken. Look at that. Okay, you're
And
stepping up. That's good.
there were
That's
like
good.
pickles and stuff on it too. You know, we got crazy. We
Pickles?
got wild.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at
We
you.
got super crazy. So we did that, and then Landon Parker. I don't know if you know who Landon Parker is. He was
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
doing a show over at the 12:30 Club, which is ow, dude, ow. What are you doing? What do you want? You want to go on the bed? Go on the
I'm sure the audio for this will be very
bed.
interesting.
She just digs her claws in when she wants to move, but I don't know where she wants to move. Um, so we went over to the 12:30 Club. Justin and Marcus decided they wanted to take a nap instead. It's like, hey, your loss. He's super good. It's just an acoustic show, but he was playing from like 12 to 7 or something like that, or something crazy like that, or
Dang, that's so
three to
long.
7
I'm
or something like that.
impressed.
He's playing a long time.
Okay. Still, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
So we got over there, and the 12:30 Club is nothing like you would expect from a Nashville bar. Like you walk in there, and it's like the I don't know, the rich bar essentially. It's like super nice, super preppy. Like
Really?
yeah,
I've never been there,
your
so wow, that's crazy.
appetizers are avocado toast and like whatever fancy, whatever you consider fancy. I don't know. I got an espresso martini though to start, which was fantastic.
Bougie.
Bougie.
That's what we call that.
That's it.
Bougie, yeah.
Um, so we went and they tried to put us like all the way in the back corner, and I'm like, listen, I'm here for Landon. Can you just put us? And they literally put us like right up front. Like I'm sitting from here to Landon Parker, which is super cool. We're standing there, we're all just chatting. He's on the stage, he's tuning up, and he walks over. He puts us on the table. He goes, "Hey, you guys want a Coors Light? Because they gave it to me, but I don't want it." And I'm like, "Sure, dude. We'll take it." And, he just put it down. He's like, "Oh, so where are you guys from?" Like, And my mom was like, "Oh, he listens to you all the time. He introduced us to your music, this and that." And he stood and talked with us for a half hour. No joke. I mean, he was just talking about everything, talking about being signed. He's signed by Tim McGraw, so he's a singer-songwriter or a songwriter with Tim McGraw. My dad, of course, asked if he's ever met Faith Hill, which he has. He was just telling about music and the more music he has coming out, stuff like that. Super, super cool, super nice guy. He was like, and then before we left, my mom, of course, had to have him sign the bottle.
What a cool takeaway. Oh my
Right,
God, that's so
right.
cool.
And then we went from, let's see, so we did that, and then we went back to the room. We just started packing and stuff like that, and then went out for the last night. But this time we did Luke Bryan's. Oh, the thing, Landon Parker is pretty cool because he has like an app, and you request songs through the app, and like if you tip more, it sends your request to the top. So I'm like requesting all of his songs, and he's like, who wants the originals? I'm like, me, this guy, please play them. Which is cool. There was one other guy who knew his music also, so it was cool to like hear him in person, stuff like that. Um, Went back, started packing, then we ended the time at Luke Bryan's. Um, we started on the first floor. It was crowded there, so we moved ourselves up, and then we found where the second floor is like dance music, country music, and I'm like, it's not really my vibe, but the other guys rocked out there, so that's what we decided to do. So we hung out there the whole night. Um,
You know what's crazy? So I like Luke's 32. It's like I like the rooftop there,
yeah,
and it's not one of the tallest. Like I also love Old Red because it's like taller and like you can see more. But like I like Luke's 32 just all around. I don't know. It's a good vibe. So that was a good place to end up for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. I did on Monday night. I got lost for like 30 minutes, and my brother and Marcus were like, "Dude, where did you go?" And we're on the top floor of Kid Rock's at this point, and I was just standing like at the edge, just looking at Broadway, and I'm like, "Holy crap, I'm here!" You know what I mean? I just had that moment of just standing there looking, just like, "Wow, I can't believe like I'm finally here experiencing all this." Like I was just trying to take it in for like the longest time. And it turned out to be a half hour of doing that.
Oops. But I mean, there's so much to see. I feel like if you just keep looking, you're gonna find another bar to look at, and you're gonna look across the river and see Nissan Stadium. Like, there's so much to take in.
Exactly.
And yeah, I totally get that.
And there's stuff we didn't do. I mean, we didn't get to hit the Ryman, but it was Breland playing the Ryman, and I really don't care for Breland at all. My mom wanted to go see the Wax Museum, which didn't have time. The Jack Daniel's distillery, like a whole bunch of things we wanted to do, we just didn't have time to get to. So next time we go, that'll be the top of the list. So Luke Bryan's was good. It finally all hit me, so I was just like sitting back. My stomach was all upset. I went to the hotel, and I grabbed like a thing of Tums, and the girl behind the desk looks at me. She goes, that's the national candy of Nashville. I'm like, shut up, leave me alone.
It happens
It
though.
does.
Oops.
It does.
It's fine.
Don't judge me. I'm having problems. Bye bye. I walked away. And so made our way back, and when I got back, my brother had found like a girl to dance with, and Marcus had found a girl to dance with, and they're both like happy and in love. So I'm just sitting in the corner sipping my water, and I'm like, I'm just gonna enjoy the moment, right? So out of all of that, I found a country song in this, and I have to figure out how to write it. But this girl who was dancing with my brother, she was hammered, she was drunk, and before she goes to leave, she tells him, "I love you. I'll see you soon," and he just kind of took it to heart, right?
It's like Cupid's arrow, just like right
yeah,
there, hit him, struck him.
But then she didn't answer him for 5 days after. So I'm like, if that's not a country song about girls on Broadway, then I don't know what it is, So if I can learn,
love them and leave them.
If I can learn how to play guitar and write some music down, I mean, we'd have a great song there.
Number one hit for sure.
It's in my head. It's just I don't know how to put it on to this thing. I don't know how to do that. But overall, it was a good time. I mean, it was. I still go back, look at the pictures and everything. I know I'm running deep into our time here, but it was just. I can't wait to do it again. I'm still looking at pictures and videos, still showing everybody the video of me chugging the beer from Matt Spell's concert.
It's such an epic video, though. Honestly, like that's gonna be one of your things that you'll have to show your kids and your grandkids one day.
And the funny thing about it, and we were busting my mom's chops the entire time because she recorded the whole vacation. You looked at my phone, but if this is her phone, she's just the entire time. Right. So after I did that and everything, they were still sitting up on the balcony. So I just happened to like look up and I saw my mom standing there like this. I'm like, yeah. So she got it all. It was a tough angle, but at least like she got the majority of it, which was awesome. My mom sent that to me yesterday. I need it now. I need to show everybody. Everybody needs to know how cool I am. The only person who's not going to like it is my chief.
That's right, but that's okay. You were off the clock. It's fine.
Exactly. Listen, everybody drinks. It is what it is. But yeah, I was just having natural withdrawals. And then we were talking about CMA Fest, and I'm like, oh my god, I got so much to go to, so much to do. But I cannot wait to go back. I will go. So my groomsmen, 2 weddings coming up in December. And one of my buddies, he already has his wedding planned. We're doing a golf trip up in the mountains. And I'm like, say less, I'm in. I love golf. But our other buddy, Chris, his best man is 19 or 20. So he can't plan a bachelor party, right? So he's like, hey, do you and your brother want to like plan a bachelor party? And me and him turn to each other like, we have an idea. I'm like, do you want some guidance? Do you want to tell us what you want to do? Should we plan? He's like, what do you guys think? We're like, have you ever been to Nashville? Have you ever experienced it? He's like, we'll consider it. We'll consider it. But they're more like a conservative bunch, or like a quieter group. So we'd really have to bust them out of their shells,
I was going to say, if you're going to do that, Nashville's the place to bring them, though, because, whew, it's a good time. Y'all will find some stuff to do for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not too worried about it. Um, but I mean, yeah, that was it was just it was an incredible experience. I loved it down there. Um, it's nice because I'm not going down there just to party. I mean, did I party? Absolutely. I mean, how could you not? But just to go to all these different places, see these different artists, and see them up close and everything. My mom was like, if you tell me any artist to go see, I will now go do it because I trust you completely with your music choices. I'm like, this is why. And she watches all my TikTok videos and stuff like that for the artists. She's never been the loud music type, but all of a sudden she's pulling in the driveway every day. Matt Stell, George Burge, Stephen Wilson Jr. She is blasting out the car, so she enjoys it. But yeah, I mean, there's other stories that I will tell that cannot be told on camera later. Um,
Gotcha. Okay.
but I talked plenty about this. So why don't we hit our artist of the week? All right, our featured
Okay, that
spotlight
sounds good.
artist. And since I've been talking for 40 minutes and 16 seconds straight, we can start off with you here.
Sure. Okay. Well, it's so funny. All right. This whole episode was dedicated to Nashville, right? And I saw this artist when I was in Nashville like 2 weeks ago. Um, and they're called the band Lula. It's a guy and a girl duo. I saw them at Whiskey Jam. And if you know anything about Whiskey Jam, you know that like the artists you're going to see on that stage at Winners, they're going to be great, right? But I don't know. There was something about this dynamic duo. They just blew me away. Like you have this sultry voice from this female girl, and then this really tall. I don't want to say Morgan Wallen looking guy, but like I mean, honestly though, he had the vibe of that.
Would you
but
say he's
his
more?
voice was better.
Morgan Walmart, Morgan Walgreens, Morgan?
I would say like honestly an upgrade a
Oh
little
wow!
bit. Don't tell Morgan I said that, but yeah, like vocally, he was a very good singer, and I'm pretty picky about that kind of stuff. So yeah, the band Lula, they're based out of Georgia, so obviously I had a connection with them already. They're really cool people too, so check them out. The band Lula on all the socials. Yeah, they were great.
All right, so for me, and I had just discovered her recently, and the way I did it was on Country Central, right? They put out their new music every Friday, this and that. So I'm just scrolling through, and this song pops up, and all of a sudden it comes in with this hard rock, like deep guitar driving, and I'm looking, I'm looking at my radio, going, "What is this? I need to know what it is." So it was 6 Feet Deep by Royale Lynn, right? She is from Canada. She moved down to Nashville about 10 years ago. She considers herself a punk tree artist. She's like country, but like rock at the same time. So I'm like, let me do a deep dive into her a little bit. Let me see what she's got. And let me tell you, like top to bottom, all of her songs, fantastic. She does it all from like a nice slow ballad all the way up to a hard rock. I listen to it when I go into the gym, like rocking music. Um, on top of all that, on top of her great voice, stuff like that, she is beautiful, and I am obsessed, you know.
The girl of your dreams. You just met her.
Right, Royale Lynn, if you're listening to this, how you doing? My name is Brent. I like long walks on the beach. Um,
Perfect.
maybe that's the clip. Maybe that's the clip to start. And there's one song. It's called "Caught Up in the Country," which is my favorite. Which isn't the hard rock part of it, but like it just scratches my brain in like the right spot. You know what I'm talking about? Just like her voice and
Oh
like
yeah.
how she sings it, and it just like I listen to it and I'm just like enjoying it. I'm just like having such a great time listening to her. She's just on Trey Lewis's podcast, and they kind of talked about all this stuff. Her coming from Canada, which is where I got most of this info. DM Monday, great podcast by the way. But yeah, artist of the week, Royale Lynn.
I love it. Okay, so we're going to cap off this episode right now, but make sure you tune into our next one. We've got some more Nashville stuff coming your way, maybe some festival information if you're one of those festival goers and you really want to check out one coming soon. Yeah, so tune back in with us. This is Brendan and Lee with Caught Up in the Country. See you later.